Hello and welcome to Nightfolio YT, where time slows, the past softens, and the world becomes quieter with each word. Tonight, you're invited to step gently into the stillness of a long-forgotten morning, a morning that once dawned over the sunlit hills and olive groves of ancient Italy. This is not a tale of emperors or battles, no grand triumphs or marble forums. Instead, we walk the path of a humble man, a Roman farmer, living quietly with the land, beneath the rhythms of earth, season, and sky. So close your eyes, let your breathing slow, and come with me, not to the center of the empire, but to its quiet edges, where wheat sways, oxen sleep, and the cockerel calls softly to the coming sun. Part 1. Before the Dawn, a farmer's sleepy world. The first sounds of the day are not words. They're soft, ancient things, a breeze tapping gently at wooden shutters, the sleepy shifting of a woven straw mat, the low rumble of a cow exhaling from its stall, and somewhere, faint but certain, a rooster's slow call from the grove beyond the wall. It is not yet light. Inside the Villa Rustica, a modest countryside farmhouse, our farmer sleeps still, his breath even, his back turned toward the hearth, where last night's coals now flicker like ghosts. The room is simple. A cot of bound rope, a linen blanket tucked over bare shoulders, a wooden shelf holding just a few things, a wool tunic, a clay lamp, and a wax tablet with writing half faded from a heat. Even in rest, the farmer's body is shaped by labor. Strong forearms, calloused hands, a tan that doesn't fade even in sleep. But for now, he is still, at peace, the weight of the day not yet upon him. Somewhere in the house, the dog stirs, an old sheepdog, its ears twitching at the sound of mice, scratching behind the grain bins, but does not bark. It knows this hour well. It waits, in the adjoining room, beneath rough wooden beams. The farmer's wife turns over in her own cot. She'll rise first, to stoke the hearth, and warm the day into motion. The farmer, still drifting, dreams of rain, of the way soil smells, when water touches it for the first time in days. Outside, the hills are turning from black to blue. The stars are not gone, but they are fading, retreating softly as the eastern sky whispers of sun. The rooster calls again, this time louder, more certain. And now, it begins. Part 2. The first steps of morning. The farmer opens his eyes. Without alarm, without surprise. He has woken like this for more years than he counts. He swings his legs from the cot, feet brushing the cool earthen floor. The linen blanket folds like water behind him. He sits for a moment, hands on his knees, shoulders rising and falling with a deep breath. There is no rush. He moves to the hearth and gently lifts the lid of the small terracotta pot that holds the ashes. He finds a few coals still alive, and with careful breath and a twist of dry olive bark, he brings the fire back to life. The light returns to the room. As if in gratitude, the flame flickers against the wall, dancing like it remembers something. From a clay jug, he pours water into a shallow bronze basin and splashes his face, eyes blinking away sleep, with cold and ritual. The dog comes to greet him, not bounding, just a quiet wag of the tail, a lean against the leg. The farmer kneels, presses his forehead to the dog's warm head, and whispers something only the dog understands. He dresses slowly, woolen tunic, tied with a simple leather belt, sturdy sandals, no javelry, no trim. His wealth lies in the land. Outside, the sky is now pale blue. The hills are quiet, but not silent. From the barn, he hears the rustling of oxen. From the grove, a distant tinkle of a bell. His daughter is already gathering herbs, her footsteps light on the grass. The day begins not with speech, but with movement, a rhythm, like the soft turn of a millstone. And now, we'll step with him into the wide, open fields, where sunlight and labor meet in the same breath. Part 3. Morning in the fields, the language of labor. The air outside is cool but kind, not harsh like winter, nor heavy like the deep breath of summer. It is spring, and the morning carries with it a promise. The farmer steps onto the path that leads to his fields, a narrow, worn trail, lined with low stones and tufts of grass, still damp with dew. Behind him, the Villa Rustica stands simple and square, its tiled roof catching the new sun. Like an old friend. Ahead, rows of olive trees, their silvery leaves fluttering in the breeze. Beyond that, the open fields, broad and golden, ready for the day's slow tending. There are no crowds here, no columns of marble, no senators in red-dyed cloaks, just wheat and the quiet curve of hills. He carries a wooden yoke across one shoulder. It is balanced, smooth with use. From its ends hang small bundles of tools, a bronze sickle, a curved knife, and a reed basket. The oxen see him first. They blink slowly, as if unsure whether this is memory or dream. He reaches them slowly, patting their thick necks, murmuring names that only they know now. Their harnesses are simple, leather straps and wooden loops, but each part has been made with care. The field today is already half turned. Yesterday's rows lie dark and damp, neat in their symmetry. Today he will finish the rest. With a low click of the tongue, he guides the oxen forward. The plow creaks into motion, and the soil gives way, as it has done for centuries. There is no rush. The sun climbs slowly, and the farmer, in rhythm with his land, moves at the pace of patience. He watches the earth split clean, smells the dark scent of rich dirt. The birds come behind him, pecking at worms and beetles, with cheerful efficiency. This is his temple. He pauses at midday, wipes his brow with a linen cloth. The oxen rest beneath a fig tree, where the ground is cool. From a pouch at his waist, he takes a small round loaf, hard on the outside, soft within, baked with barley and honey. He eats slowly, watching the sky, noticing how the sun leans now, how the wind changes shape. As the day turns, this pause, this moment of quiet between furrows, is as sacred as the labor itself. He drinks from a clay flask, cool water from the stream, and leans back in the shade, his fingers playing with a broken stalk of grain, as if it holds a secret. There is no clock, no hourglass, only the sun and the knowing of it. And soon, with a gentle whistle, he'll call the oxen again and return to the rows, as calmly as he left them. Part 4. Afternoon rituals, home, tools, and tending the orchard. The sun is higher now, settling above the hills. Like a quiet thought, in a wide, cloudless mind, the fieldwork, for today, is done. The furrows lie in calm lines, each one a soft signature on the land. The oxen, patient and proud, are guided back toward their pen. They walk slowly, their hooves padding rhythmically, through the dust of the worn path. As they pass through the orchard, the breeze picks up, carrying the smell of figs, vetrush, and distant wood smoke. The farmer pauses near an olive tree, its roots knotted, its bark gray with age. He places a hand on the trunk, as if greeting an old friend. He has known this tree since it was a sapling. It grows slowly, like wisdom, like stone warmed by sun. He examines the fruit. Small, firm olives, not yet ready for pressing. Another few weeks. Nearby, a wooden ladder leans gently against a tree. His daughter must have left it there this morning, when she gathered herbs for her mother's tinctures. The Villa Rustica comes back into view. Not grand, but welcoming, built of stone and timber, with red-tiled roofing, in a courtyard shaded by fig vines. A boy runs across the yard, barefoot, carrying a basket of dates. He waves, but does not stop. He has a race with the sunlight, and he intends to win. The farmer returns the oxen to their enclosure, a small, open shelter with wooden beams, and a roof of dried reed and clay. He brushes their hides with slow strokes, removing bits of straw and seed. He murmurs softly as he works, telling them they've done well, that the wheat will grow strong this year, and that the gods of the field are watching kindly. When he finishes, he sets aside the tools for sharpening. He lifts a worn wooden bench from under the porch and brings it into the sun. This next hour is for tending his tools. He takes his time. The The curved blade of the sickle catches the sunlight like a smile. It has cut barley, wheat, and wildflowers. It has also cut silence, making space for planting, for reaping, for thinking. After sharpening, he oils the handles with olive drippings, left over from last year's press. The wood darkens slightly, rich and full, as though remembering the grove it came from the house. The scent of lentils and garlic begins to drift on the air. Soon, there will be food, but not yet. Now, he walks along the side of the house, to the small orchard garden, where herbs are grown in tidy rows, and bees drift lazily above the thyme. He kneels among the lavender. The scent rises, like a blessing. He trims carefully, using a small bronze blade, collecting the sprigs in a cloth satchel. This lavender will be dried, woven into pillows, tucked into tunics, and stirred into vinegar for aching joints. The farmer wipes his hands, smiles at the bees, and stretches his arms skyward. The sun is beginning to lean now, not quite ready to set, but no longer at its peak. Time slows again. It always does. In these soft, in-between hours, where labor meets pause, where silence has texture. Part 5. Evening meal, family moments, and the glow of firelight. The sun has begun to lean low, spilling soft gold along the ridges of the hills, bathing the orchard and fields. In its last generous light, the farmer steps back toward the house, his satchel now full of herbs, his tunic dusty, his hands rough, but steady. He walks slowly now. There is no more work to be done today, only the rituals of rest, the kind that make a home feel lived in. Inside, the Villa Rustica is alive, with small sounds and low light. The children have returned from their morning tasks, their cheeks pink with sun and air, their arms full of flowers, figs, and wild greens. The farmer's wife, dressed in a simple stola, moves between the hearth and the table. She does not hurry. She stirs with care, adding a pinch of salt, a spoonful of olive oil, and a dried bay leaf to the simmering pot. The house smells of lentils, garlic, and sweet onions from the garden path. The family gathers at the table, each member bringing something: a folded cloth, a plate of figs, a smile that carries the weight of the day and lets it fall gently at their feet. There are no chairs, just stools, low benches, and the smoothness of stone. They eat slowly, with hands, with bread dipped in broth, with spoons carved from olive wood. They speak in murmurs, not of news, not of politics, but of soil, of animals, of what grew and what didn't. The boy tells of the lizard he saw on the garden wall, the girl of a cloud shaped like a dolphin. The farmer smiles, not because the stories are grand, but because they are true. Outside, the birds are quieter now. The sky turns from peach to rose to a deep, endless blue. After the meal, the farmer steps out once more into the courtyard. The stones beneath his sandals are still warm from the day. He sits on a low bench near the fig vine, where a clay lantern flickers softly beside him. From here, he can see the whole farm, the path to the field, the smoke curling from the chimney, the fading outlines of the orchard trees. The dog settles beside him, its head resting on crossed paws, its breath deep and even. He does not speak. He does not need to. The sky overhead is a tapestry of stars, each one steady, silent, watching. In the quiet of night, the house becomes still. The children sleep on woven mats, wrapped in soft woolen blankets. The wife finishes the last of the kitchen tasks, sealing the lentils, covering the jug, blowing gently on the coals, to keep them alive until morning. The farmer lies down on his cot, beneath the familiar ceiling beams, beneath a thatched roof that creaks, with stories older than words. He stares at the ceiling for a moment, watching the firelight dance there. Like memory, his muscles ache, but not unkindly. His hands are sore, but strong. His breath is slow. Tomorrow, the rooster will call again. The yoke will be lifted. The seeds will wait. But tonight, there's only this: the silence of sleep, the soft hush of the countryside, and the knowing, deep in his bones, that he is home. And so, as the stars wheel slowly overhead, and the night folds ever deeper around the hills of ancient Italy, you too may rest. Let your thoughts fall, like olive leaves in the breeze. Let your breath slow, like the tide of a quiet plow, turning soil beneath the moon. The past is soft, the day is done, and sleep, like the warmest blanket, waits gently at your side. Good night, from Nightfolio YT. Until next time.